Hey guys, this is Leeza. As young people, we tend to enter our early sexual experiences either pretty clueless or with a ton of false assumptions around what sex should look and feel like. These are assumptions that we've borrowed from places like porn and pop culture and patriarchy, and they often lead to some misconceptions around sex. So today I wanted to break down 5 things that young people tend to get wrong about sex. Let's get started. Okay, so the first misconception I wanted to talk about is the idea that sex is a numbers game. It is not. Young people, and particularly young men, are often made to feel as if the more people they have sex with, the better. In fact, it can even be a source of prestige among social groups as to who's had the most number of sexual partners, and especially with young men. Young women might also feel this pressure, but they also are made to feel as if they have to downplay their number of partners because women are routinely slut-shamed for having sex. With women, actually, it's a really double-edged sword because you're judged if you're not having sex, you're shamed if you are having sex. You just can't get it right. But basically, whatever the case is, numbers actually don't matter. Sex is not a numbers game, and we have got to stop fixating on how many people someone has or has not slept with. It's a question that is really no one else's business, and we'd all be much better off if it was an issue we were less fixated on, because not only does it condition how we see others, it also impacts how we conduct our own sexual behavior if we're concerned about numbers. So it's really something that we should just drop because it really doesn't matter and it's no one else's business. It's also common to hear young people talk about sex as if people are just items on a bucket list of races and religions and body types and ages and things like that. You know, who hasn't heard someone or the other say something like, I'm dying to sleep with a blonde girl, or I wonder what it's like with a Muslim girl, or I'd like to try it with a black guy, or whatever other identity marker that someone's trying to fetishize. And while people defend themselves saying that it's just curiosity or that they have a type, reducing someone that you're sleeping with to something as arbitrary as their skin color or body type or religion is dehumanizing. And it's also often tied up with our own unexamined prejudices. So it's something that we should be cautious of. It shouldn't matter how many people you've slept with or what race, religion, caste, body type, or whatever else they are. We do ourselves and each other such a disservice when we forget that our humanity is so central to having positive and healthy sexual experiences. So let's keep that in mind. The second thing that young people get wrong about sex is the idea that feelings are embarrassing. So often young people, and again particularly young men, are terrified of expressing emotion or exposing their vulnerabilities. But some of our most fulfilling interactions in life are those where we're able to truly be ourselves. Perhaps some of that reluctance to demonstrate our feelings comes from a fear of being hurt. But we deny ourselves the joy and learning that comes with human connection when we treat each other like disposable objects to be used only when convenient, instead of treating each other with respect and empathy. Of course, heartbreak can be terribly painful, but you learn from it and you grow from it, and every relationship doesn't necessarily have to end badly. By hiding your feelings, you're settling for convenience at the cost of quality, and you're depriving yourself of opportunities for tremendous personal growth. There is nothing embarrassing about feelings. Whether it's a casual hookup or a more long-term thing, you'll have much higher quality experiences and interactions if you get good at and comfortable with expressing and processing your emotions instead of pretending they don't exist. All right, number 3, we've got to remember that sex is not an obligation. Many young people experience a ton of peer pressure around sex. For example, it can seem like if you want your crush to think you're cool, then you should be willing to have sex. Or if someone takes you out, then the assumption is that you're going to have sex with them. But sex is not something that you owe someone. No one should ever be made to feel like sex is something they can't say no to. Seeking consent is an ongoing process. Just because someone has had sex with you before, it doesn't mean they owe it to you again. Sex is something that both parties should genuinely want to participate in, and consent has to be mutual and enthusiastic. Okay, number 4, sex is not a tool for manipulation. So often within a sexual relationship, there exists a power dynamic. And this could simply be because one partner is more in love with the other, or because one partner is more attractive than the other, or one partner is older or younger, or has more money, or whatever it is. And this power dynamic can be easily used to manipulate a partner, or sex can become this tool of manipulation, and that is super unhealthy and avoidable. Using sex to control or influence your partner's actions or decisions is a terrible thing to do, and believe me, it never ends well. Also, using sex as a means to make someone jealous or to take revenge, again, is just not going to end well. So I would highly recommend that you avoid using sex as a tool for manipulation. I really believe that a sense of trust and honesty is absolutely vital for positive and healthy sexual experiences. Okay, and finally, number 5, I want to talk about body confidence during sex, because I think that's also something that young people definitely struggle with. Thanks to pop culture and mainstream porn, we have a ton of misconceptions around what bodies should look like naked, and as a result, we have so many insecurities around the size and shape of things and whether we're desirable enough the way we are. For example, many young people aren't comfortable having sex with the lights on because they're not comfortable with someone seeing them in all their nakedness, or some people even keep certain body parts covered with clothing during sex because they aren't yet comfortable with that particular part of their body. And just in general, there's such a high degree of self-consciousness or feelings of inadequacy that really come in the way of your ability to enjoy a sexual experience and trust a partner and just feel comfortable in your own skin when you're together. And of course, for women, in addition to all of the insecurities around body image, there's also this preoccupation with body hair and how much hair is okay and what to take off and all of that, as well as the fear of being seen without makeup on. I mean, we'd be so much better off if we shed some of that baggage and just feel good in the bodies that we have. Of course, it takes time to cultivate that sense of confidence and self-love, and it is a process, but helping each other feel comfortable and desirable when you're together can go a long way. Tell your partner what you love about their bodies and say it often. It can be such a beautiful thing to have someone that you care for look at you and see you and love you exactly the way you are. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you did. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, share this video if you liked it. I will see you next time. Bye.